Hello everybody, welcome to the show. This time I have one of my best friends in the whole world, Mr. Brandon Hamilton. What are you going to make up for us today, Brandon?
We're going to cook stuffed bell peppers today with deer meat and a hamburger combination. We've got half a pound of deer, half a pound of hamburger, a cup of rice, our bell peppers, onion, cheese, tomato sauce, and we're going to spice it to like. Okay, so what we have here, first off we're going to start, we've got a half a pound of deer and a half a pound of hamburger. We're going to mix those up. You can do just a hamburger, store-bought hamburger, but I like the wild deer meat. I killed that myself last year with a bow. And we are going to mix these two up 50-50 and get that going. And the next step will be to add our rice. I like to use all the vegetables. The way my mom taught me was to cook everything one pot shot. It's all raw. The bell pepper, the onion, the hamburger, the rice, everything is raw when we start out cooking, and about 45 minutes to an hour, voila, stuffed bell pepper. So what we got here is 1 cup of rice. We've got 1 pound of meat. This recipe can be done with 2 pounds of meat, 2 cups of rice, 2 cans of sauce. This is pretty much the basic 1 pound of meat to 1 cup of rice to 1 can of tomato sauce, half an onion. So we'll mix our rice in real good. Like I said, I like to do everything raw. That's how I was taught this recipe. Meat's raw, the rice is raw, the bell pepper's raw, just to remind everybody. Some people like to cook the bell pepper, cook the hamburger. So we've just got our cup of rice here, and we're mixing and mixing and mixing to get it all in there good. And you can use sausage and hamburger, just deer. If you use just deer, you for sure have to use more water when you cook it, because what's going to help us here is the hamburger has fat in it, the tomato sauce will be juice, and the bell pepper. Normally it's 2 cups of water to a cup of rice. We're only going to use a half a cup of water. Now that we have our 1 pound of ground meat and our 1 cup of rice, we're going to add 1 can of tomato sauce. Okay, we got Grant back with us to help us out. He's going to cut us up an onion, and I'm going to show you how to prepare the bell pepper. And Grant, by the way, grew these lovely babies. A lot of people want to lay these down and cut the tops off. You waste a lot of your height in your pepper, and you lose a lot of your fresh pepper that way. So I like to cut them from the top and go down and around. And we got us a compost pile over here to put this stuff in.
It's right there on the table.
Just give it a twist normally and a pull. There's some seeds.
Yeah, I love these things, man. These peppers are good stuff.
Especially these homegrown babies. And that's what our pepper will look like once you're preparing to stuff them. And whenever you got those diced up to however you like them, Grant, you can dump them in that mixing bowl there and mix away if you like.
Okay, we got these going here. What's those off in there?
I never measure any of the spices I put in it. It's just kind of like you mix it to your own taste. We're going to use some black pepper and sea salt, some Tony's, sachets, garlic powder. And it's no pre-measured anything. You just, like I said, if you want more garlic, put more garlic. If you don't want any garlic, don't put any garlic.
Okay, you want me to season these up here?
Yeah, Grant, just season them up, spice them up to your liking,
That kosher salt goes a long way. That's probably good on there. What do you think? Up there?
I put a little more Tony's.
Tony, that's good stuff,
It's got
man.
the spice in it.
I put that on just about everything. Even peanut butter and jelly.
Garlic.
What do you think?
Perfect. Super. So I'm going to do the mixing.
You're going to stuff those suckers too, huh?
And then we'll do some stuffing.
Okay.
Like I said, any of this spices, you can add celery salt. You can do, whatever your favorite things are to taste in your food. Tabasco, whatever you like. Hot peppers. So now that everything's mixed up, it's kind of a messy part of the job, but you pretty much just stuff each pepper, pack it in. All right, so we've got our bell pepper stuffed with the meat, rice, spice combination. Normally you use 2 cups of water to a cup of rice. We're only going to use a cup of water. The hamburger meat will have fat in it, the bell pepper will cook down, and the tomato sauce will all add to the water that you normally would use to cook rice. So we added a cup of water, put it on the stove, simmer for about 45 minutes, a low simmer. All right, so our bell peppers are done. When the rice is done, the meat and the pepper is cooked also. And what I really like to do is put a little piece of cheese on the top of each one. And you can use mozzarella, you can use a Swiss, you can use pepper jack. I just like the old cheddar. Put a little square on the top of each one and give that about 4 or 5 minutes to melt. We'll be eating. Man, just want to say thanks for having me on y'all's show. It's been great. I love bell peppers. Thanks for letting me cook them for you. When the rice is done, some people may say, how do you know when the pepper and the meat is done? When the rice is done, it's all ready to eat.
Hey, on Home Eats this time, I got the Dirty River Boys.
Dirty River Boys.
They're dirty, and they're River Boys.
I like making steak when I'm at home. I mean, I'll talk good grilled steak, mesquite. I've worked in a few restaurants where I learned a few little things. I like working and get some mushrooms, saute some mushrooms, have some brown sugar, a little sherry wine, not too much. It caramelizes, you throw it in the oven. That on top of a ribeye or on a side is really good. I like to mess around with mashed potatoes a lot. I mean, I think you can make anything with spinach and mushroom mashed potatoes, sriracha and blue cheese mashed potatoes. You can make bacon and cheddar mashed potatoes. You make, roasted red bell pepper and feta mashed potatoes. Grab things out of your cabinet and throw them in your mashed potatoes, and that's a cool little thing. Like, they call it mashed potato du jour.
Well, I used to just live off meat and beans, and that was it.
Meat and beans.
But here lately, I don't know if you've ever seen that commercial with that pressure cooker on there.
Sorry.
Well, I was, staying up late one night, and I decided to get that pressure cooker. And I'm telling you, it is the secret to cooking. I mean, it's a one-stop shop. You just throw a bunch of meat and a bunch of cabbage and carrots and
You
whatever.
sound like the guy selling it.
Yeah.
You're saying exactly he said. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
one-stop shop. You just throw it all in there. You don't even have to prepare it. You just turn it on. You just 25 minutes will cook anything.
okay.
All right, so like my go-to meal, if I'm, when I'm trying to impress my girlfriend or I'm trying to impress my mom or family or friends that come over, I go to Central Market and I get the Scottish salmon and get it cut in little portions. And that's salmon alone. You don't have to put anything with it. Amazing salmon. So I get some soy vey teriyaki sauce. Cover that, so get in foil and roll up the sides. Cover that salmon in that teriyaki sauce. Drench it in there. Use the whole bottle if you want. And then I cut up lemon slices, put them on top of the actual salmon portions. Put some lemon on there. I have this. I don't know where it's from, man. It's just this. It's a spice bottle that I have. I just pour some of that spice over there. No kidding. That's it. I throw that in the oven. 13 minutes, for like a decent size little portion. 13 to 15 minutes. Throw it in the oven. Pull it out. Scrape the skin off. That's the main course. You know, my side, I get the Great White Northern beans.
Oh, the northern
Best-
beans.
Oh, yeah,
I've had this. This is good.
Best
This
beans,
is good.
best beans in the world. So you get those Great White Northern beans. You know, you put them in a little colander, you get, rinse them off and all that. Put them in a bowl. Cut up a whole bunch of basil, salt, pepper, olive oil. Until you're tasting. That's it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Travis on the old steak thing. I like to make a fillet. Filet is probably my favorite cut, but I'm a firm believer, like with what Marco said, it all starts with the ingredients. So I like to get prime aged beef, hit the fillets, and I think first to lock in those juices, you got to sear it right on the skillet.
Yeah.
Just like 1 minute that side, 1 minute on the other side. Toss it in the broiler. About 4 minutes on each side. Perfectly done. That with a little red wine reduction, some sauteed mushrooms. And I got my red wine reduction recipe from Travis over there. And just a cheap bottle of Cabernet, reduce it, a little sugar, just keep reducing it until it's about.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So, yeah.
Hey, don't forget, I'm also playing bass for Jason Boland sometimes. We have a lot of tour dates coming up. Check them out.
Too many stones are in my path, been tripping and falling down. Those Oklahoma City girls are fine, and Tulsa's quite a town. So if I ever get back to Oklahoma, gonna nail my feet to the ground. Folks like me heading down the road.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for joining me, Brandon, today. If you'd like to see this show and more, go to reddirtnation.com and select on the proper places to select. Goodbye, everybody. See ya.